Hey guys, this is Z-Rave, and I wanted to talk about the Tyrael Nerf, my first impressions, and I just did a run. It took me 35 minutes to get 5 stacks and get the Siege Breaker. It was pretty rough. It's taking me a lot longer to kill the packs now, and against ranged packs, especially the ones with Molten, I ran into Enraged twice. So just because you can't directly chase them, it's a pain in the ass. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And without Tyrael there to just ignore the damage and hit him the whole time, it takes a lot longer. So I realized that since I took 35 minutes, and mind you, 5 or 6 minutes of that was just the Siege Breaker himself, I realized suddenly a lot of you cannot do this run anymore. Depended on Tyrael, and now he's gone. And that's a big problem. So I'm thinking on how I can adjust to account for that. I've thought about a few things. Like, first is raising my personal damage. Right now it's only 9.4k, pretty low. And so one thing I've thought about is to drop Superstition and get in Berserker Rage. Since I'm always at full rage, it's just doing 25% more damage the whole time. And I mean, I would have to test and especially maybe get some feedback on whether that works for you, because Superstition is very helpful against damage on the ground. It's might be a lifesaver. And then also, strength is up in priority. I'm definitely going to get more strength for my gear. I only have 789. That's not enough. I want at least 1,000. I'm going to try to get my personal DPS to at least 15k by doing this and other changes. Another thing I'm thinking about is Thorns. It's pretty good against melee packs. What I'm actually thinking about is in Whimsyshire, all the packs are melee. There's no archer troop, which is really good for tanks. And I'm going to try to go there, maybe with Thorns, and I'll test it out. I'll let you guys know how it goes, just to increase my DPS, right? Like, with several monsters attacking me, you can get items that have 2,000 Thorns or something. And with the passive, that goes up to 3,000. So if I got maybe 10,000 Thorns on my gear, something like that, I could actually do quite a bit of DPS just in AoE from that. And well, that's one way to go about it, right? Those are all ideas I'm having for soloing. But I think you guys may have noticed that the other change that they did was that they reduced the damage from added damage that monsters would do for each extra player in the game. So both that change and the Tyrael nerf are actually pointing to one thing. They don't want you to solo, or maybe you can solo, but it should not be more efficient than playing in a group. This is supposed to be a social game. It was designed from the ground up to do that. You can tell from the rezzing each other and all that stuff. So the Tyrael nerf in particular makes a lot of sense if your goal is to have people play in a group, because you would run into a problem I call Tyrael dilution, where basically if you have Tyrael and you're alone and you also have an Enchantress, say, the mob has 1 million HP. Right? Tyrael's going to do a lot of that. But if you had a second player, suddenly the mob has 2.15 million, and Tyrael's percentage of that total damage is going to go down a lot, because now you have 2 players. It would just slow you down to play with two guys, right? And on top of that, the extra damage from the enemies would make it so you couldn't tank it as effectively. Just from losing the Enchantress and having the 15% extra from one player makes you take 25% more damage. Straight up. On top of that, more damage would go over your block that before would have been negated completely, so it's even harder. It's even more than 25%. But now they changed that. You still lose the Enchantress, but that's manageable, especially if you play in a large group with 4 guys. And you have cross buffs and a whole bunch of nice stuff. So I'm actually going to work 2 angles here. I'm going to try the solo route, like I said, and I'm also going to modify the build to play in groups, now that I can actually stand up and tank stuff with 4 players there. And I'm going to make posts I'm going to adjust my threads and make new videos here showing you how each of those strategies is working out. Basically, I'm still not sure I want to go the DPS route. Maybe it's time for that. I don't know. Well, I'll find out. But there's definitely something that needs to be done. We can't continue on this path it's been working out so well for us. But there are other solutions out there, and I'll help you guys find it. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.